Okay, are we back up? I think so. Let's load. Let's go here. Not entirely certain if my microphone's coming through. It should be. I hope it is. Is it? So, oh good. Right then, so we're just heading into town, if I remember rightly. Let's see if we go. So, I believe I want you. Yeah, why are they fighting Preston?
Hey!
This is weird. Who's supposed to be fighting
Up here, on the balcony.
There he is.
I've got a group of settlers inside. The raiders are almost through the door.
Usually he's,
Grab that laser musket and help us,
firing
please.
off bullets left, right and centre. How peculiar. So we have no, we have two. I think I'll get that for later. And I will also get go here, kill this, yeah. Good majority of them are, yeah. Especially Brotherhood. This place needs clearing out. Okay, I'll go clear it out. Go find this tech, which means clearing out a place. I don't go. Oh, Lone Wanderer. I'll go with that. Okay, so that's that set. No, don't want that stuff. Oh, move, dog meat. Oh, one of the mods I've got is
Keep out of my way.
it shoves them if they get stuck, or you get stuck on them. Works on NPCs as well. See now, see, he went and got himself stuck under the car. See? I'm just talking about him getting stuck. Dark Brotherhood questline. Yeah, that was pretty good. I think the voice actor for the what is it called? Is it Lucian LeChance or something it's called? The Dark Brotherhood dude who gives you all quests basically. Well, but the boss man who gives you most of the higher level quests, should I say. He did a stand-up job. That. I mean, he did a good job in as Mr. Burke in Fallout 3 as well. I think he's a good actor. Before we go in there, I'm gonna go see about this other. Go check by this other Minutemen's corpse. Before we go in. So you have them. Okay, so that's that. Wow. Excellent. Exactly. It's in Mechaton. He's the one who tries to get you to blow it up. Works a tenpenny. Now I'm not entirely certain, but I don't think he's in New Vegas. I might be wrong on that. I can't remember. It's been a long while since I last played any of the. Cleared you. Let's go clear this out. It always works best when he plays a bad guy, though. When he plays an ordinary dude, you're like, I don't know, you sound evil. It kind of throws you off when he's playing a good guy. You're like, hang on a minute, are you gonna try having me killed or something? Because you might be. Lord, that a bit loud. Let's see if I can lower that down a bit. Should do it.
No more British occupation.
Oh, this is another one of the mods I have that opens this door and this door. Opens these wings because they were blocked off. Pretty loud. Yeah, fine. Hang on a minute. That's still too loud. Down. That's a little better. Not gonna go deaf anytime soon.
When you turn up, you're dead.
No way I could pick this.
Yes, if I remember rightly, you usually go. Actually, where do you usually go?
Scared, huh? You should be.
Okay.
No more British occupation.
No sign of a
Oh no, you go
barrel.
this way, don't you? But the other side's open, that's right.
You lobster-back knaves. Find the
I want to put on that, and that.
crowd. Back to your homes. Have your teeth. Taxation, representation. Remember, lads, two if I see.
Good.
Outdoors. We ride to
Not sure what it's the other thing as well is the mod that I've got. So it adds it tweaks the reverb and all that, so it's like things echo better. Unfortunately, it seems it makes it also very loud. So let's get that sorted out. So let's crack this door open.
That's it. I'm in.
Yoink. Actually. Let's get these over here. Yeah, this is the wing that they opened in the mod I've got it basically. Because this, for some reason, they blocked it off in the vanilla. So I added it back in. Because I think on the computer, this might be where it is, where it mentions somebody hiding in a room and that they'll wait for a certain someone for them to come rescue them. But I never could find the cards, and I think it might be because they're hidden in here. I'm not entirely certain why they would have cut this out. It's not like it's broken or there's no. I mean, it's already all here. I mean, all the mod did was enable it back on.
We got no reason to hang around and get shot. Stop being such a fucking pansy. We hold out for the others like we're supposed to. What are you, dead?
Oh yeah, this then comes round on these two. Because usually you're coming through this side, and you come round, you go in, swing round here. Oops, what's that? Then you go around here, and then you go this way, and then you go up. Whereas I came up this way this time, I guess. Yeah, that's something I've always liked about the Bethesda games, is that they're very good at environmental storytelling. Designer there who knows what he's doing anyway.
I'm coming in there, and I'm gonna skin every last one.
Like you'll have a scene set up where there's a particular scene I like in Fallout 4 where there's a building in it's here actually, in this place here somewhere. Oh, there it is. There's on one of the helper floors there's a skeleton strangling another skeleton by a safe that's got a load of money by it, and it just tells this little story about these without going out of the way and putting all these little notes everywhere and saying, oh, we were arguing that, you know, there was a dispute over money or what. It's a skeleton, you know, make your own story. It's not like they have these big neon signs going, look up there, there's something to see, you know, it's just, if you find it, you find it, good to know. If you don't worry about it, you know. Like I said, it adds this kind of depth to the world. There was, that's it, you know, you feel like there was life to the world. But, I don't know, I feel that when it comes to writing, they have the strong points to Obsidian. They certainly do have a better
Man, I don't know who you
writing
are, but your
team.
timing's impeccable.
But
Preston Garvey, Commonwealth Minuteman. Maybe.
I don't know if it's.
Nope.
Let's
Glad
get
to help.
this.
Right.
Please, go on.
A month.
Yep. Sounds
Sorry.
rough.
God damn it. Thanks.
One good idea.
Start.
There's a crashed vertibird up on the roof.
The
Old school. Pre-war.
Uh-huh.
Well,
Looks like
The
one of
problem
its
I have with New
passengers left
Vegas,
behind a
and obviously it's
seriously sweet
Obsidian,
goodie.
right, is that
We're talking a full
I feel that
cherry
the
T45
because they
power
like to
armor.
make it out that oh, you know, you
Military
can,
issue.
yeah, Bethesda's been lacking. I think it's because they're kind of trying to pull in too many directions. They're not like just saying, look, this, and so they kind of like end up with this kind of like scatter approach that doesn't always work. In fact, very
Minigun.
rarely does.
Now we're talking.
But
I know it
Obsidian,
can't be
I
powered up
think,
again.
they like to sell that.
But we're a bit
New
stuck.
Vegas when they were coming out, they were like, oh, it's got this. What was their best work? Well, yeah, maybe.
What you'll need
He,
is an old pre-war
they kind of
FC.
sold New Vegas,
Standardized
did
fusion
Obsidian
core.
as this.
Your
You know, oh, you know,
high-grade,
no,
long-term
there's no
nuclear
good side.
battery used by
Everybody
the
has
military and some
the
companies way
pros
back
and the
when.
cons.
But we
you know.
can't get to the look.
And I was expecting all this grey area options and all these, like, oh, you know, maybe they're good in this way, but they're bad in that.
Actually, I already grabbed the fusion
And
core.
Really,
We're
it
set.
just meant that
Well, all
you
right.
have a very bad
Maybe
guy.
our luck's finally turning around.
The main
Once you
good
jack
guy
the points of
is
the power armor,
corrupt.
grab that minigun.
And the only neutral party, they try to make him out to be this kind of inhuman type person, and they kind of failed at that as well, really, in my opinion, because like I say, obviously the Legion's supposed to be like this evil kind of slaving, authoritarian kind of, nobody gets to say otherwise, you've got your role and that's it. No questions asked. If you've got questions, then you're doing something wrong. You know? Anybody who questions it goes right to the bottom of the list, sort of thing. And that's fine. If they'd have said there's a definite bad guy and everybody else is grey area, that'd be fine. But they were like, oh yeah, it's everybody's good and bad in equal measure, and there's no true evil, there's no true bad guy, no true good guy.
You okay?
There are more of you, right?
And then there was the factions written wise, because in going by their initial idea of everybody being kind of not all cracked up to be, you know, because the NCR, they're kind of like, they've got this like a America Reborn. They probably will, yeah, which is unfortunate. I prefer the protagonist to be silent in open world games. Because I like to imagine that when they're speaking, I imagine the voice in my head. And so you always imagine them better than they always pick. I mean, even if the voice actor's a good voice actor, I mean, the voice actor for Fallout 4 for the main characters aren't bad. No, the male or the female, they're both pretty good. It's just the problem is that they're not wanted. You know, it's unnecessary. Fallouts have never needed a voice main character, and then suddenly they went, yes, now it has one, you know. But yeah, the NCR, they have like the US Reborn sort of thing. They kind of like try to re-embody the US when they've reformed these states, but they've kind of fallen by the wayside. They've lost their optimism. They've lost their idealism, and they've become they've fallen into bad ways, and they've become corrupt in some aspects, but there's still that core of good people there, which is good, and that kind of fits with what they were going on about. And then you've got Mr. House, who is also well written, in my opinion. Good lord, the power arm's loud as well. Yeah, kind of pre-made. Yeah, you don't get to choose the setups on one. You don't get to choose. Here we go. This one. You don't get to say, "Oh, this is the background I want." You just here's your background, like a lump, you know.
Up here. Boss, we got somebody up here.
I think I got something over here. We've got company.
Why don't you get down here? Show me that fancy gun up there. Not a lot of people can get past my boys. Look at that. You're waiting, asshole.
Yeah, Mr. House, like I say, he's kind of got this. He plays all the sides against each other, which is good. You know, it's a tactics. Using the main powers against each other to become independent and not have to kind of deal with the NCR on their terms. It's always his term, so you click and slap. Where's the door? Where is it? Come on. Out you come, big. There we go. I wish he'd stick his head up so I can hit his stomach. Yeah, like I say, he's got this kind of... He only cares about advance. Progress is the key thing. He always wants to improve technology because he wants to continue what... Yeah, the world's pretty bland, exactly. It's kind of... Like, they put all the focus in trying to come up with these factions. They forgot to focus on the world. So, they don't do like what Bethesda do. There's not as much of the old environmental storytelling. There's no... Oh, yeah. You don't like run into little stories that tell themselves. You know. But like I say, you got your Mr. House. He kind of wants to kind of... he basically wants to restart the space race because that's what the whole Vault-Tec thing would be, was the testing people so that, you know, under various stressful conditions and such to see how well they handled kind of these conditions that would have been very tough. You know, you've got like harsh environmental planet situations, you've got like cooped in a rocket for a very long time, and just to see how people would react in these various different situations sort of thing. Before they went into the space race, but then the war happened and they kind of went side. And so he wants to kind of restart that back up and go back to getting back into the space race, and he needs a lot of money to fund it, and so he basically is using everybody to kind of fund his vision, not in a I only care about myself sort of way, but in a such it's kind of cool, detached sort of way. Which is, like I say, it's good.
Pretty amazing display.
It's actually my preferred
I'm just glad you on
choice sort of thing of the groups, because like I said, the NCR's too corrupt, really.
The feeling's mutual.
You can never have too many
to
friends.
be the one to
Not in the
help,
Commonwealth.
unless you can
Listen,
kind of find a way to
when we
excise
first
the
met,
corruption.
you said you were glad to help.
But the
Well, you
Legion,
did.
it's just straight up,
We owe you our lives.
you know, this kind of like
So here,
pantomime level
it
bad
ain't
guy.
much, but
You know,
it's the best way I can say
I am Mr. Nasty and everybody's bad and blah blah blah. I think if they'd removed the slavery aspect from, not because I don't think there should be in slavery, I mean there should have been a faction in the Legion pushing for slavery,
You're welcome.
and that you had a choice of
Anytime.
either helping that
Well,
faction,
maybe
or
you'll
they
come
should
to
have had
Sanctuary
that
with us.
be a
We
thing.
could use your help getting settled there.
But I mean, like I've Kaiser himself like sitting there being like being
All right, Garvey.
neutral on the thing,
in.
saying, oh, it's a pragmatic thing, we'll have slavery, it's useful, blah blah blah, but at the same time not wanting to do it because
More to your
it
destiny,
doesn't work out,
isn't
you know.
there?
Exactly, they're crazy, they're all nuts,
Seen it.
and there's no
I know your
way to empathise with them.
pain.
You know, you can't say, oh, I'll side with them.
Okay.
I'm listening.
You know, you can't say, oh, you know, you can
Man,
overlook
time.
this, or maybe you
I
can
would
help him
hope
fix this, or maybe you can turn him towards a
all's
better way.
not
Because you
lost.
can't.
I
You just
can feel
you can kill
the
off
sun's energy.
Kaiser, and then it becomes
He's alive.
Legat Lanius. He becomes the leader, technically. Or you can end up. I think there's a way to remove Legat Lanius, but it doesn't make a difference because Kaiser's still in charge, and he's
I'm listening.
Look,
still
kid,
wanting to
I
do the
know
same
how he
old
sounds.
nonsense.
The sight,
And it's just
weird.
like
And even I
you
don't
did
need
NCR the
sight
first
to
time. Yeah,
tell
me
you
too.
where you should
Because I
start
kind of
looking.
I saw this like
Great
it was very
green
like
jewel
much
of
very
the
much
Commonwealth.
an American sort
Diamond
of
City.
setup. You know, they were like, oh, it's
Biggest settlement around.
you know, it's like the freedom and liberty and all that kind of stuff, and democracy, and like saving people from raiders, and like fighting back against the wasteland almost, you know.
That's vague.
So
Look, kid,
it
I'm tired now.
like I say, it kind of
Maybe
appealed
you'll
at
bring me
first, but
some
then after you
chems
play it, you
later.
kind of realise
The
that
sight will paint
the
a clearer
NCR's
picture.
basically on a downward spiral into
Mama Murphy,
corruption
we
and
talked
kind of
about
falling
this.
apart
That
eventually.
junk. It's gonna kill you.
Ah, shush,
Um,
Preston. We're all gonna die eventually. We're gonna
But,
need the sight. And I
On my second playthrough,
he's gonna need it too.
I went through the
Now
Legion
let's get going.
to see the
Sanctuary
opposite side of
awaits.
things, see what
All right, folks.
they have to
Thanks
offer.
for-
We are bad guys, you know,
Not far.
twirling moustache, flailing the
You mean
cape,
she had
and
one
all
of her
that kind of
visions
stuff.
when she was stoned out of her gourd.
Big evil
And now
laugh,
you want us
maybe.
to
You know,
just
that's
head
all that
out
we're
on
missing.
another wild
You know,
goose
it
chase
being
based
straight
on
up
no better
anime.
plan than Mama Murphy saw it?
It can
I did
Hold on,
I did
hold on.
Mr. House last because that was the
Everybody
one I
just
was
take it easy.
expecting to be
We're all in this
for
together,
free
right?
after I'd played
So, Marcy,
the,
You got a better idea of what
after
we
I'd
should
played
do
NCR. I
next?
was thinking that perhaps they were hoping to
Anybody?
spin the Mr. House as the
Well then,
better of
sanctuary
the
it
three.
is.
And
Let's
they
just
weren't.
hope it
I didn't realize. I didn't find out until later that their
Come
whole
on,
shtick
June,
was
it's
to
time
make
to go.
each of the
Oh,
units
okay.
supposedly neutral. You know, they have the good and the bad parts. You know, but when I was originally playing it, I thought the NCR are supposed to be the good guys. The Mr. House is like this neutral alternative good guy. The Legion are bad guys. And of course, then you can. I mean, he can be a raider, but he doesn't have a storyline. I say he can be a raider.
Don't forget the price we
But
paid to get this far.
after I played it, like I said, I kind of
Hey there.
We're right behind you,
worry.
boss.
I'll get these people to sanctuary.
like I said, I was like, you know, maybe the Mr. House isn't as bad as the NCR, and he isn't. He's technically better than the NCR, so because he's not corrupt. I mean, he's a bit cold. And he's a bit logic driven. There's no human emotion to him. He's very robotic, basically. You think he should stay with us? Yeah.
First time I've seen one of these things
Like-
up close.
The other aspect I didn't like as well is that Benny. I mean, obviously he backstabs you, but I mean, it's supposed to be a game where you're supposed to be able to choose what you want to do. So you should be able to convince him that it's wrong to try and kill you, but because I mean, his whole shtick is about trying to become New Vegas and to get rid of Mr. House. So why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you try and hire him? You know? But just no, there's no option to save him, no option to make him on your side. The only way to kind of keep him alive is to let him get away, let him get to the Legion, and then when the Legion says you've got a choice to kill him or not, to let him go. That's the only way. That's the only way to have a kind of different outcome with Ben. I mean, he deserves everything he gets that coming to him. So I mean, he shoots you right at the beginning. You know, kind of, he's set up to be your initial antagonist, but I don't know. If they'd have made him a Legion, I could have worked with it. Yeah. He had so many choices, yeah. But the problem was, is they all kind of just led to one outcome, and that was either. Well, he had all these options that kind of made it look like you could convince him to work with you, and you know, he obviously betrays you, and then there's no option anymore. So, just gonna lower this down a bit more. So you're kind of left with no alternative. Yeah, like I say, you kind of shoot him, kill him, or what have you. Kill him, because obviously you can use knives or whatever. You can either kill him or you can let him go. And then he goes and gets captured by a legion.
Don't worry, Jim.
And then when you get captured by a legion, Kaiser gives you the choice of...
Okay.
Yeah, if you play a female, no, I mean I never played a female, but I think I can't remember who I saw play it as a female. I did that option. I think it was on a stream. I can't remember now. Where I saw that option. Yeah. You see, once again, there's no convincing him, that, you know, to not try and kill you. There's no convert him to your cause or working with him or anything. It's just, you have a choice, kill him or let him go. And I didn't want to let him go, and I didn't want to kill him. I wanted to see what would happen if you worked together. You know. I was pretty certain he was going to betray you. I mean, you know, he starts off shooting you in the head. The first thing he does when you offer him a chance not to kill you is he betrays you.
Let's get the
And
sanctuary.
it's like, oh, go meet me up in the room. I'm like, okay, so you go meet him up in the room and sends up all his goons. You know. So you know he's a snake. You know how to betray you every last chance. But, like I said, there should be the option still there for people to make that failed choice of saying, yeah, no, I still want to trust him. Some people are very trusting. It's hard to break that condition. Not that I trusted him. I didn't trust him as far as I could throw him with 2 broken arms, but he's a Weasley character, and he's the sort of person who can get stuff in sneaky ways, and I thought he could be handy, you know. But there's no way to make him an ally. Not as far as I know. I mean, I might have missed some options. I played it very extensively, so I'd be surprised if I did. Or he had the option of being like a 4th faction, you know, where he can unite the families of
I knew that was somewhere around Concord.
the
That
strip,
means
and you
this
kind of like
right here
create an Uber
must be the
family
whole
if you
North
would.
Grid, where the first shots of the American
They didn't do
Revolution
it,
were
so I
fired.
suppose.
I call that the best omen I've seen since you left Quincy. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, exactly. I wish it was a choice to make him a follower, you know. I mean, they paid all that money to have, what's his name, voice him, you know, so why not use it, you know? Why not get him to voice a couple of lines as a follower?
And you're happy about it.
So that, that's the other thing as well, speaking of new things I didn't like. With the followers, they all... I know it was... I mean, I know they allowed you to have 2 followers and that's all good enough. But... with 1 follower it's really kind of... not overpowered as such.
I'm glad you decided to do this. I should have listened to Mama Murphy all along. Pretty
I mean,
nice
with
place
2
you found
followers,
for us.
you're
think
not
we could settle
really
down
going to
here.
get killed.
Make it a
Unless
place
it's
to
on
call
hardest
home.
difficulty and you're running
What
up
do you
against
think?
Cazadars and everything. Deathclaws, you know.
Yeah. I used to like living here.
But,
Before the war.
What do you mean? Before
with
what?
with
war?
the followers,
Are
there
you
was... what was it now? There was a problem with them. There's the Brotherhood woman, voiced by Felicia Day, who I don't like, I have to admit. I don't like her at all. I don't like the character person. And so, I mean, at the time I didn't care. I didn't know about her, you know. But I didn't like her even then.
I lived here
100
100 years ago.
Grandma
I was
Sparkles, is
frozen
what
or
she's
something
called? The
for most of
super
it.
mutant. I thought that was quite
Just
an
woke up a
hilarious
little while
character, you know.
ago.
It's like
Damn.
this old woman who's
Like
like
one
a
of those
super
old
mutant
pre-war
that's going
ghouls.
around slapping
You
everybody
say you
with
were
his big
frozen.
bugger off sword. I thought that was quite
Anybody else make it out with you?
My son.
I liked
Somebody
the
took him
ghoul
away while I
fella
was still
who was
trapped.
voiced by Danny Trejo.
I've been looking for
I
him.
liked him. I thought it was an
Damn.
interesting story with
Sorry.
him, where you
I
could
hope you find him.
make him like this bandit.
Let me know if
type.
there's any way I
Yeah,
can
the
help.
grandma.
Anyway, I
You could
am
make
glad
him
you're
like
here.
a bandit or like a warrior for justice. He had the like where you could flip him either way. So you could make him on a good guy or a rogue.
And I hope you don't mind,
Exactly.
but I've
There
got
you
another
go.
favor to ask.
Preston's got me.
I've had word.
Right.
The trouble is, you're gonna make me do all these quests over and over and over again, right?
Oh, good. I was hoping for a chance to rescue some more helpless villagers.
It's
The
not
dog.
that people are
I mean, it's a
helpless.
dog. You know, how
They
can
just
you
need
like
someone
it?
to give
And
them
it's
a
a
helping
robot
hand
dog, which is
sometimes.
just win-win.
That's what the Minutemen are supposed
Whereas
to
a
be all
dog,
about.
you know, that should have
By
been
the way,
not a companion.
If
that
you want to
should
help
just
out
be
around here at all, talk to Sturgis.
something you
I'm
have
sure
with
he'd be glad for
companions.
all the help he can get.
Eddie, it's a flying robot thing, you know. It's got personality in its way. And I liked it. But once again, that should have been not a full-on follow as such. Could have been a companion, but not a follower. I don't know. Like Dogmeat in this isn't a follower. Preston's a follower. Dancer's a follower. All that a follower. He's not actually fully a follower. That's what I think Eddie and Rex should have been. Who else? I didn't like the Doctor. I thought it was too it was too much of a mix of narcissism, arrogance, and snack. They tried to make him out to be this. Oh, how did that? Somebody summed it up enough. It's like they wanted you to feel. Yeah, he was whiny. Yeah, that was another thing. It's like they wanted you to feel sorry for him, but I just didn't give a shit. I hated him for words out of his gob almost. You know, it was always whining. He always acting like he knew better. It was always this stuck-up approach to everything. You know, he's just very unlikable character. And then you're supposed to like sympathise, and I'm like, I don't care. If he dies tomorrow, I'm not going to miss him. But exactly, that's pretty much most of the reason I ever did his stories. Like, I want the power armor. You know, I think I'll get the power armor this time. That'd be my choice, and that's the only reason I'd do his quest. You know, other than that, I'd just leave him. I'd never go talk to him. Or a bare minimum, if I was doing something that required him or what have you, I'd be like, okay, I'll do that. And then I'd just dump him right back where I found him. But no, I didn't like him at all. I think he was poorly written. I wouldn't say he was poorly voiced, but the way he's voiced is, well, it emphasises his annoying aspects, and so it kind of, I don't know. Like I say, I just didn't like him at all. Him and what to call her? What's she called now? Veronica or whatever. Is it Veronica? The Brotherhood lass, whatever her name is. I don't like her name. I just, yeah, no, not for me. If they were removed from game, it'd be a better game, almost. That's almost my level of view of them. I think they should have put more effort into making Raoul, or whatever his name is, a bigger deal in storyline. You know, same with like Rex. You can't miss Rex. You know, because you've got to go talk to the king. Well, say you've got to. You don't have to go talk to him, but it's almost required. So you can't really miss Rex, which, you know, is fine. I mean, every Fallout's had a dog, as far as I'm aware. Get out of the way, dog meat. That Rex was cool. It was a unique twist on the dog meat thing, because in every Fallout there's been a dog, as far as I'm aware. I don't know if I don't know if it was in 1. I can't remember if it was 1 or 2 was introduced first. It was in one of the first 2 anyway. Hence Dogmeat's been in 3 and 4 now. I mean, I think they should stop bringing Dogmeat back. They should have a different dog once in a while. What am I looking for? But yeah, I liked Rex. It was a unique twist on the dog follower. You know, it's got all the robotic kind of things, and you can get the like different things to give him different attack. So it handles situations different. Like he's more cautious with his one brain, and I like that aspect as well. It would be cool if it's the same dog meat, but at the same time, if it was the same dog meat from Fallout 1, it'd be like, what? Is it, I think Fallout 1's set 150 years after the end of the world, so it'd be what? This is 2030. No, this is 2287. And I think it's in Fallout 1 setting 157 or something like that. So it'd be a pretty old dog. Can't find the bloody thing I'm looking for. Yeah, right. No, I'm talking about this. Here. There we go. Immortal dog, yeah. Well, I don't know, it's a mystery. That's why he always turns up, I suppose. I suppose that's what they're trying to work on, is trying to make it this mystery. Why is this dog called Dog Meat turns up, and how is he always there if he's the same dog? Which is, I suppose that's an interesting idea, actually. Now I think on it.
I knew you'd join us here, kid.
It's kind of like the mysterious stranger. He's turned up in every. What the hell happened here? Oh, you.
I used to live here.
Synth dog, yeah. It's the Institute, the Swines. I'm on them. No robot. Can't have a robot dogs running around, swapping around my dog. Yeah, I'm gonna swap my dog out. I'm making him less barky.
Just gotta bring me some jet so I
He's looking
can
at me
see
from across
what
the
it
room as
wants
I say
to
this.
tell you.
No, you're an addict.
No, you're an addict. You need help.
Oh, not this again. Kid, listen to me. I'm old, even older than you think.
But yeah,
If the kids are gonna kill me,
I
then
suppose they're kind of
say
going with that same
I've
kind
had
of
a good run.
idea with like
Never
the
made it this
with
far
Dog Meat,
without
as they
the
do with
sight
the
we need.
mysterious stranger, I guess.
You need it.
1 second.
It's part of who I am.
The sight isn't worth killing yourself over, Mama Murphy.
I mean, obviously
My
he's turned up
decision,
in.
kid, and not yours.
He's turned up in. I think he's been in all Fallouts now. But he is supposedly the same guy. I mean, Nick Valentine reference. There's a reference to him in Nick Valentine's office. There's a file called The Mysterious Stranger, and he talks about him. And he has these various theories on about. There's the quest in New Vegas with a guy who thinks whose dad's disappeared, and if you've got the Mysterious Stranger perk, you have I think it's with that you have a unique dialogue. But the gun you get off him, if I remember rightly, has the Mysterious Stranger sound when you take it out and put it away, doesn't it? Creepy. Like I like what they did with the file. Like, it has various theories on the Mysterious Stranger, on who he is, where he's from, blah blah blah. It's like he thinks he might be he's either multiple people with same identity, or a madman, or maybe he's a serial killer. So it kind of gives you all these various options for kind of give you something to think at, sort of thing. But it could, like I say, it's also kind of throws curveballs out there, so you're like, he might not be that, but it could be this, but at the same time it can't because of that and this and all these other things, and it kind of muddies the water a little about who he really is and what he really is. Yeah. And they'll kind of knacker it if they ever try and explain who he is. It's interesting because he's mysterious, because you don't know about him. Try to make any details more than what they've done in this in New Vegas. So yeah, like I said, the Dog Meat thing and Mysterious Stranger, I think that's, now that I think on it, they're kind of a similar sort of a similar sort of a deal, for want of a better term. where there's this like mysterious aspect. Which is good, I think. I mean, there's a lot of mystery in Fallout universe. I mean, there's the Dunwich stuff I really like as well. How they do the Dunwich stuff, because side quests, the Dunwich stuff. He's a big H.P. Lovecraft fan. That's where that kind of all comes from, like the Dunwich horror. So it's all based on, from what I understand. I've never read the stuff in question. But there's just enough details that makes it scary. It's the Lonesome Drifter's father, yeah. It's what you kind of basically work out in the story when you do the quest. If you've got the perk, and you listen to what he says about his father and the details, and then you look at him, and you look what he's wearing and all that, and the gun he gives you, you know, it's pretty obvious that his father is the mysterious stranger, or at least that particular incarnation of him. Like I say, the file that Nick Valentine has kind of adds to the theory that there might be multiple people all playing the same guy. Because he mentions it in the file, he says, "Is it this, is it that?" And then like you say, it's the Lone Drifter's father. Well, I say it's the Lone Drifter's father. He makes it very strongly that is his father. You don't out and out say he's my father, and you don't out and out give you the big neon sign saying this guy is related to the mysterious stranger. But it gives you enough facts and enough data, or enough inkling to say, yeah, that's got to be the case. Because like I say, mysterious stranger's gun, you know, exactly, it's implied. You know, he's got his gun, you know, and it makes the sound when you pull it out and put it away. You know, that guitar strum sound, you know. I mean, how else did he end up with that gun? If not related. We need to save. So, like I say, there's a thread left open so you can go, oh, maybe he's not related, you know, maybe he's just similar enough, or he's mistaken, or maybe he's the mysterious stranger trying to throw you off his tracks. Which keeps it mysterious without, you know, like I say, it gives him details without being undermining the mystery of it, which I like. That's, like I say, that's one of those things that I feel Obsidian did right with that quest. Like I say, there's Obsidian does good writing, but I think it's when they do it in small doses they work best. When they try to do an overarching plot, sometimes they work, sometimes they fall flat, you know. But the problem is, it's gotten to the point where you can't criticise, you know, people get uppity about it. It's like, how could you criticise? They're so good. It's like, well, if you don't criticise them, they get complacent, you know. And you don't want that, do you? Listen, they'll never get complacent. Yeah, sure, that's what everybody thinks until it happens. The problem is that I played, before I played New Vegas, way before I played New Vegas, the game I played that I really enjoyed was Alpha Protocol, which they wrote. But it also was broken mess, like New Vegas. And they made New Vegas, you know. And I mean, they always have an excuse to Obsidian, which is kind of undermines their undermines them a little. They always have an excuse for why it's not their fault, you know, which I don't like. You know, if they owned up to the fact that sure it didn't work out, there's issues, but you know, we tried, I'd be like, okay, fair enough. But they always say, oh, you know, the publisher, they were demanding this and we had this deadline and all that. But there's other companies with deadlines and demanding publishers that put out. Their favourite go-to is to say that they, you know, it was the publisher, you know, being overzealous. That's what they said with Bethesda. It's like, oh, you know, they set this deadline and they didn't give us enough time for this. And it's like, no, they didn't. They give you a full-on engine that were already fully edited and set up and ready to go, and you somehow made it worse. when New Vegas came out, they managed to somehow break stuff that Bethesda had fixed in Fallout 3 with the various patches, which I found was a bit odd. It's like, how do you manage that? And then there was glitches that were added that were completely new, you know. There was all sorts, and then when they're fixing stuff, they fix stuff that didn't matter, and they took forever to get around to fixing stuff that did matter. It's like, for the longest time I couldn't play the game because I was stuck in it, basically where the cell ends and moves into a new area. It would crash no matter where I went, no matter what I did, no matter what save or what have you. Every time without failing, crashing for like 3 or 4 months. There were no patches for it that'd fix it. Every time I'd load it up, think it'd be patched. It'd be patched. I'd load it up, and it'd still crash. And they always had an excuse, and there were people like, oh, you know, it's Bethesda, but then, exactly, yeah, there was like graphical downgrades as well in certain aspects. I mean, I liked what they added in. They had more weapon variety, they added in ammo crafting and all this kind of stuff. They expanded on the companion thing. What else would they do? I mean, obviously they had the story was a little more involved, you know, and all that kind of stuff. But in exchange, we got a game that was even more broken, as we all know, and notorious for broken games. You know, if a game isn't broken by Bethesda, you've got to start raising eyebrows and asking who actually made this game, and why can't they make it more often? That's beside the point. But like I said, but there was all these people saying, oh, it's Bethesda, but I saw them do the exact same thing with Alpha Protocol, and Sega was the publisher for Alpha Protocol. And people were like, oh yeah, Sega sucks. I was like, actually, Sega give them extensions. It was widely known that they give them 3 major extensions and then 2 extra ones, if I remember rightly. And I mean, this isn't like, you know, where you can just like say, oh yeah, take as long as you want with game development. You have to get the game done because you're sinking money into it, even when nothing's happening, you know, because they're paying the wages and all that kind of stuff. And they pushed it back and Sega, and they funded it, and then they came out and blamed it all on Sega when it went sideways because it was broken, it had all these various issues. And because it had just enough right, it was a good game at core, but it was very rough. And instead of saying, you're right, it was rough, we'll work on improving this, no, it was everybody else's fault. Exactly, the investors, then they said, here's some cash, you've got this amount of time, we want to see at least this by then. And Obsidian's like, okay, we'll do that, and then it comes to the time when they've got to, you know, pony up the goods, and they're like, oh, we haven't done it, you know, and then they instead of saying, you know, hands up, sorry, we did it wrong, we're going to work on fixing it. It was just, you know, it's not our fault, it's everybody else's fault. Which is, it's childish, you know. These are supposed to be professionals and they're sat there going, oh, it's not our fault, pity us. It's like they pulled this stunt when New Vegas come out, where the contract they had with Bethesda was that if the game got a certain rating, they'd get, obviously the game had to come out and it had to beat a certain score. Like, I don't know, 70 on Metacritic or whatever it is, and they'd get the full payment that they had in the agreement, which obviously they beat, and it got up to, I think it was 88 Metacritic average score. But if they got up to 90, they would have got a bonus, but it didn't get up to 90. And Bethesda, rightly so, did not give them the bonus because they didn't earn it, because it didn't get 90. That was the agreement, and they were making this big fuss saying, oh, you know, they were acting like they were getting shafted and that they weren't getting the full amount, but it was the agreement they made. Get it to 90, get this high rating from the fans and the press and all this stuff, and you'll get a bonus, and they didn't. And they were still expecting to get this bonus, and they were hoping to use the fans to do it for them, to get the fans to brigade, and the fans, in some aspects, failed hard. Kudos to them if they did, then I'm very disappointed in Bethesda, I suppose. Yeah. And all the slack they threw at Bethesda as well. It's like they always blame Bethesda, and Bethesda have their own fair share of problems. You know, they're pretty bad at fixing problems. But at least when they say the game comes out here it generally comes out within that time frame. You know, they don't say, oh, it comes out here, then it comes out here, and then they blame everyone else but themselves. You know, that's Obsidian's, you know, to a T. And like I said, they had this big hissy and blamed, you know, Bethesda for everything, as they did with Sega. And apparently they did the same with LucasArts when they did Knights of the Old Republic 2, which wouldn't surprise me. Like I say, I saw them do it with Alpha Protocol, and I watched them do it as they did it with they did actually, didn't they? They had that Kickstarter that bloody didn't do so well. The was it Pills of Eternity or whatever? Is it that one? One of them. They all start to blend into one of them, all these Kickstarters to me. So I lost track of them. I think it's Pillars of Eternity they did, and that didn't do as well as they hoped, and they blamed that on everybody but themselves. Yeah. They deserved it. Who deserved what? They deserve the bonus. No, that's what I mean. I think they, the game was broken enough that Bethesda was right in saying, look, it needed to get to 90, and it fell short. That was the agreement they made. If they'd have said, look, no, if we want it to be near 90, then that's what they should have agreed to. They signed the contract. They said, hey, give us this amount of money and this amount of time to make the game, and we will provide a game that gives you a 90 Metacritic score. And they didn't, and so Bethesda said, okay, we'll give you your full amount that you've earned, which is for this, but you're not getting this extra because you didn't manage this. 1 point, 2 points, 1,000 points, it doesn't matter. They agreed to 90. They set the number. When Bethesda said, hey, this is the number we want, they didn't have to agree to that. They said, you know, exactly, it's a contract. They said, alright, and they signed it. They didn't have to agree to that. They could have said, no, 90's too high. 90's a bit of a stretch. 85 and we'll honest, you know, because 85 was, they hit 85, you know, which, and I'm going to be honest here, I don't think they deserved 85. I think they should have gotten about 75 at most. Because when that game came out, it was such a broken mess that, but the only reason they got such a high rating is because it had the word Fallout on the title. And that's coming from a big Fallout fan, you know, and I loved New Vegas. When I first played it, I thought it was great. I just realised all the problems with it were extensive, you know, and they didn't own up to it. They were like, oh, it's everybody's fault. You know, if there'd have been, you know, you're right, we messed up. There's issues. We'll work on fixing it. I'd have been right up there with everyone else saying, okay, Bethesda, they didn't quite hit the 90, but go on, chuck them some change, you know, cut them some slack. They're fixing it, you know. And I'm betting Bethesda would have done too, because PR and all that, but because the game was so broken, if they'd have given them the bonus, they'd have rewarded them basically for not doing the job. And for doing exactly what they do every time, releasing a game before it's ready, because they didn't get on with it, you know, they're pissed about doing, I don't even know what it is they mess about. I mean, they obviously end up making the game, it comes out, and it's relatively complete, but it's so broken, I don't know how they manage it every time. You'd think they'd learned, you know. I've made many games of Obsidian now, and the fact that every time the game comes out once again broken, it's either a case of some sort of, I don't know, issue in their engine work, or their programmers aren't as skilled as they make themselves out to be, or they're being willfully lazy, I don't know. But every time, without fail, an Obsidian game comes out and it's very glitchy. I mean, like I say, it's the same with Bethesda, and you'd think they'd learn, you know, they've got all this money, they've made all the games, they've got this process down to a T, and yet still, buggy messes every time. I mean, obviously you've got to give them slack for a massive game these sizes. There's always going to be issues. You're always going to run into stuff that's missing and broken and all that. But the amount that's missing and broken is it's just maddening. always upsetting when they claim that they're perfect and they're not. You know.
Seems to be growing well.
So unfortunately, try convincing Obsidian and Bethesda to put in effort in fixing the brokenness. You know. See, if I was the guy, the manager at Bethesda, and there's these games that come out, and one of the main complaints that happens every time, for every game they bring out, is that it's released buggy. You know, I'd say, look, this time we're going to set a deadline. That's when the game has to be done by. But that internally, right? But we have an extension of 6 months internally, where all we do is fix bugs and make sure everything works. And we real crank down on it. At most 6 months. I mean, obviously they've got to get it out. I mean, you don't announce until that bug fixing period starts. That's when you announce the game is coming out. Because the game's in a relatively working state, so they can show off stuff. And then people can see what's in the game and they can say, oh, this works, that don't work. So they have time to then tweak it while they're fixing things. Because, well, people are like, oh, that don't work, that sucks, or I don't like that, or this could be done this way. They can see it and go, actually, yeah, and then they implement it before they've fixed it all, before they start patching it. Yeah, they need an actually new engine instead of a pretend new engine like they always come out with. Like this, and really all it is their, air quotes, creation engine. It's just the what we call the Gamebryo engine that they took and modified over years, just tweaked upwards. That's all I've done. But they pretended it was the new engine, you know, and that they've built it from scratch. Yeah, sure you did. Back when you originally bought the license to the engine. It's still the Gamebryo engine. It's just a much more updated version of it. I mean, they don't call it the Gamebryo engine, they just bought the... they bought the license, I think, to it all, and then they kind of like, I don't know, they made some deal, I guess, or what have you, but they ended up with all the code, and they've just built upon it since, you know. Obviously it's got more rendery stuff, but it's higher detail, and it's obviously it's better graphics and all that than modeling, but it's the same engine at the core, and it's kind of, it's showing its age now. I mean, there are games that came out at the same time as Fallout that look better, you know. I mean, as much as The Witcher was also a broken mess, it still looked better. And it was larger. It had all sorts of issues, like every RPG does. But it still looked better, and they were using an engine of their own, you know. It's like a studio I used to be a big fan of. They've kind of fallen by the wayside because they kind of fell into a rut. It was Insomniac, and they built their own engines all the time. They didn't go out and buy an engine; they actually built their own. I mean, obviously they didn't just like build a new one every game, but they built up a new engine, and then for that console, it was like for the PS2, they built up an engine for Ratchet and Clank, and they made the games on that, and they tweak as they got a new engine. Based off what they learned from their old engine, they built a new engine. And then they released Resistance Fall of Man and all that kind of jazz, and the Resistance games. But it was during the Resistance games that they kind of started falling, you know. They used to be high quality, you know. If anybody found a bug in an Insomniac game, it was a surprise, you know. And they used to be a relatively small studio, there were only like 50 of them when they were making Ratchet and Clank, and now they're up to, what, 250, 300, 500, who knows. But the larger they got, the worse the games got, which is a bit, you know, unfortunate. But they always built their own engines. Who else would used to build their own engines? I think Naughty Dog used to as well. I don't know if they still do. They probably do. Not that I'm a big fan of Naughty Dog. In fact, I think Naughty Dog are incredibly overrated. What else do I need to do? I have people to the jobs now. Square Enix. Back when Square Enix used to put some effort in. That was good times. I think the problem that happened with Square Enix was the merger with Square Enix. When they were just Squaresoft and Enix, they were alright. Enix was the lesser of the two, in my opinion. Somehow when they merged, the Enix upper management got in and started shafting Square, I think. The reason I make that kind of assumption is because Final Fantasy went kind of downhill, and Dragon Quest went uphill. I mean, the first Dragon Quest I ever played was Dragon Quest 8, and the first Final Fantasy I played was 7, and that's a jump of about 5 or 6 years between them. Remember now, maybe more. Obviously, FF7 came out on PS1, and then Dragon Quest 8 came out on PS2, and it wasn't at the beginning of PS2 either. It was like the tail end of PS2's lifespan. Where's Marcy? I apologise. So that's that too done. But like I said, there was the last proper Squaresoft game was FF10, and I think that was the last. Oh no, I think it was 12, because they were already working on 12 when 10 came out. That's right. But after 12, I see a new game. Yeah, Legend of Dragoon. I would be quite up for that as well. But you try convincing Sony. Some reason Sony just do not want to. Like, what's that? People love Legend of Dragoon? Want to see more of it? Can't have that. Where is... what you call him? John. There you are, you swine. Come with me. Exactly, never happened. It requires some effort, and Sony at the moment are all about being showy, you know, like, look, everything's massive and really everything sucks. It's like, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I've seen like gameplay of the last game ever, and I've seen it and it's boring. I have to say, I find it boring, you know. And I like survival kind of games and zombie apocalypse stuff. I love them sort of games, but I saw that and I was like, I can't bother watching anymore, you know. And this is, I mean, it's not like it was a problem with the person playing it. I mean, I actually have it for the PS3, I just never bothered playing it. I'm that uninterested in playing it. I mean, I didn't go out and buy it, so it's not like I wasted money. It came with I was bought a PS3, replacement PS3 for birthday, Christmas present. Because my birthday's in December, so they get merged together sometimes when it's a larger present. But my old PS3 got yellow lighted, so for the longest time I didn't have a PS3, but my parents bought me a new one of the slim PS3s, and I never bothered playing it as much as I hate to admit. PT. What's PT? Oh, is that that, for want of a better term, tech demo, that well, kind of concept demo that Hideo Kojima did. That was supposed to be like a glimpse of what the Silent Hill was going to be supposed to be like. Yeah, I don't know. I used to have a friend who was a big fan of Silent Hill, and I mean, I haven't spoken to him for many years, so I can't say for certain. But from what I know of his enjoyment of Silent Hill, and that he'd have not liked it at all. As far as I know, I mean, maybe he did, maybe he loved it. I don't know. But there are Silent Hill fans I know that that's not Silent Hill. You know, it's an interesting idea, but it's not Silent Hill. You know? And that's a fair enough. It's fair enough observation, you know. Like I say, I mean, it's not a genre I'm particularly up on. I'm not a big horror fan. I think I've played Resident Evils, you know, but they're less horror now and more about action really, with horror elements. Trying to think what last horror game I played. Oops. But yeah, like I said, PT didn't interest me because, like I say, I'm not a horror. When I saw players of it, I thought, oh, it's an interesting concept and all that. But the problem I have is that I mean, I loved Metal Gear Solid games for the longest time. You know, it used to be one of my big series. If Metal Gear was announced, State of Decay 2, I've already pre-ordered it. It's downloaded and ready to go for the day and it comes out, as it were.
I'd be glad to help. Just tell me what you need.
Well, for
Because I like the
starters,
first
we
one.
could use some
So I
real
thought,
beds.
well, you know,
We've been sleeping on the ground for too
I like
long.
the first one,
Just
so I'll
make sure
spring
we
for
can
the
sleep with
second
a
one.
roof over
And if
our
this
heads.
one doesn't do well, I am
These
not
old houses
pre-ordering
still
them
look
more.
solid enough to do the trick.
That's my usual
There's a
policy.
workbench over there you can use.
If the
Give me a holler
series
if you need anything.
is good, you know, the games I've played, then I'll pre-order the next one. If the next one lets me down, I
Hey,
don't
Sturgis.
pre-order after that.
like
If it keeps going well, I
Having a
keep
place to
pre-ordering.
sleep will improve everyone's spirits.
That's
What
why
we
I've
need now is a
pre-ordered just
reliable
about
source
every
of
Elder
clean
Scrolls
water.
game. I pre-ordered every Final Fantasy up to 13. I pre-ordered 13 and that was such a massive disappointment that I damn near threw my console out the window with the disc, just in case it tainted it, you know.
I'm on it. Clean water coming up.
That's how bad
Great.
I thought for
Thanks
13
again.
was. I was out seeking to see if I could get myself purified. I was worried it had
Sturgis.
placed me.
I feel better already, knowing we have a reliable supply of clean water. I hope you don't mind me asking if we're
Yeah,
gonna
yeah,
set...
you food.
I'll start planting right away.
Good deal.
But yeah, I already have State of Decay set up and ready to go. Damn it, he's short by 20%. Now where do I get more food? I know. I have an idea. Yeah, I hope there's various things I hope they've tweaked from State of Decay 1 to 2 though, because there is some issues with them. But like I said, as that was their first game, you know, like I say, there was bound to be things that didn't quite work out, you know, and they had time constraints and they had budget constraints, so I'm not holding it too hard against them. For the first game, I'm not that harsh, you know. Now, if the second game comes out and it's a fail on too many things, then there's going to be questions asked.
Don't think I can pick this.
Really? Magical spelling keys. Exactly. No, I mean, me neither, really. I've got it set up ready so that I can stream it when it comes out. Or at least that's the intention. I don't know. Maybe the world will end before then. Maybe it'll die on me. My intention is, hopefully, to stream it. That's my hope, anyway. Like I say, one cannot see into the future and all that. There we go, cleared out. So no food in here, unfortunately. See, the thing I like about the State of Decay game, and games like that, is that you have these little, yeah, you go scavenging, all that's great and everything, but I like kind of like setting up a little defensive, like stronghold sort of thing. I mean, that's why I like the settlements in Fallout, because I mean, way back in Fallout 3, this is something I thought that would be cool in Fallout, and obviously that was something that was modded for Fallout 3, and I thought that was an interesting. I didn't do it quite like how I'd do it, but you know, it's whatever. But when I played Fallout 3, when I first played it, I just myself like, I'd run like this in a night. You know, I'd find myself being in a building and think, you know what, it'd be here, I'd like board up these windows, and I'd have fences here, and I'd have like guns set up here, you know. Those shit moments in State of Decay, yeah, they are. They can be something. Like when what do they call them? Ferals come flying out of somehow, and you're like, oh shit, get in your car, run away very quickly, find the nearest vehicle and hope it's very close. Or at least that was my initial thing. Now when I go in, I just give it a slap with a wrench or something. How would you like that? How would you like them apples? I'll shout. Because you get used to it, obviously, after a while. But the one bad guy I hate is the big what do we call them? Juggernauts, the ground buggers. Because they're incredibly difficult to kill, and not because they're challenging, right? It's just that it's hard to damage them other than shooting them in the head, you know. Or if you've no gun, you've got to crack them, and they're a pain in the ass. The neck ferals look easy, and ferals are supposed to be the hardest of the bunch. That's that guy, exactly, yeah, that's the one. But, I'm gonna put those away. Because I mean, if there was a way to kind of like trip them over, like make them trip, because they do that charge, there should have been a thing where you make them trip over, or something, you know. But they just charge and they get stunned, and that's about it, you know. They kind of lower their head, and that's about getting. But if you've only got a Norpin stick on you, you know, you kind of shafted, you know. You've got to hope that you don't run out of stamina and it don't grab you and all this kind of good stuff, you know. Where am I going? I need to go to here, I think. No. Move the marker, I think it's there. Let's see. What do I want for my next perk? I've got it. I've technically already got it on my hard drive. Well, part of it. Yeah, they don't fully download the thing. Because then some crafty bugger will crack it and they'll be playing it early. But now, my download thing or whatever in me list, I'm ready to go on the day. Like I say, I intend to stream it, hopefully. If all out nicely. So, this way. I might do, yeah, it's a possibility. I think I'll have a go of it single player first though, so I can get a feel for it. But yeah, if it's good stuff, I might have to co-op it. I mean, I don't know. Is there actually co-op? Oh yeah, there is, isn't it? It's 4-player co-op. That's right. Because I think my sister wanted to play it with me as well at some point. So you, dog. What the hell happened to your leg? Like some bugger shot him? I'll find them and I'll kill them. How's that? Yeah, if like I say, if it's pretty good, I might have to have a serious think about that. Drop in, drop out. Oh, even better. Like that. I'll work out because my sister's at college at the moment, so she can't play at the moment. But when she comes back in summer from college, she'll probably be like, I'll borrow your account. I'll just be playing this all day, thanks. I was like, no, that's mine. No, too late. It'll be gone. I'll lose my controls. My Xbox, it'll all be gone. Nobody else will be playing it, just my sister. Like, yeah, I need to stream. No streaming time. Gotta be playing it. 'Cause my sister likes State of Decay as well. In fact, just before she went back to college, because she was when she was on a holiday for Easter, I think it was. She came home for a bit. She was playing it then, the original one, because it was then that I pre-ordered it. She was like, "Oh, you pre-ordered?" I was like, "Yeah." It's like, "Alright." I said, "She'll have to play it when it comes out." And she says, "Yeah, maybe," which was her way of saying, "Yeah, I'll be playing it." Oh no, I don't need to talk to you. I just need your food. Just stealing your livelihood. Hope you don't mind. It's not like they need all this food, right? Or any of it for that matter. They should be fine. Food doesn't take long to grow, right? Doesn't take months in real life in some instances, does it? It's just instant, right? If I walk away and wait 3 days, this will all be back, right? It does. That's my brother would joke. Right, so now I've robbed these folks blind. It's a mix between a potato and it tastes terrible, going by the in-game law. I've forgotten how they said it. They described the taste. I just know that they said it tastes terrible, but it's better than starving. So. It's like, I don't know if it's that terrible to taste. You know? If it tastes like dried feet in a hot summer day, I don't want to know about it. But I suppose if you're starving to death, I suppose you won't be so picky, I guess. I don't know. I don't know, I've not been that starving, so I'll leave that up to folks who are starved to tell me otherwise.
Seems to be growing well.
See, I only stepped away and all this stuff's grown 5 minutes ago. Really didn't need to really go walking all over there, I suppose. My question is not what a potato is, but what the hell is a mut fruit? It's the radiation, yeah. What did I pick up? I need carrot. Why not? Have a carrot. We need potatoes. There we go. But yeah, I'd love to know what the hell a moot fruit or a mut fruit, or however the hell they pronounce it. See, there's characters in the game that pronounce it moot fruit, but the name does not have an umlaut above the U, so it's just mut fruit to me. And there's no E after the T, so it's not mute. So I'm going to call it mut fruit. But I'd love to know what the hell that's supposed to be. I mean, you can find crunchy mut fruits, I think it is in Fallout 3. Mute fruit. Maybe it makes you silent. Maybe you go deadly silent when you eat it, I guess. I don't know. Can't say for certain. But it's a fruit, and it's a thing, but I don't know what kind of thing it is. I mean, potatoes I can work with, you know. Melons, obviously. Gourds, carrots, these are obvious. Potatoes is a cross between potatoes and tomatoes. Okay, I can work with that. But what the hell's a moot fruit? Tastes like mutton. Oh, I suppose that could work. Should be a delicacy then, that in the wasteland, considering the options for food. I mean, if you don't like mutton, I suppose that's probably not a good thing, but if you have a choice between mutton and potatoes that taste terrible apparently, then I suppose moot fruit are the winning formula for you. Where is Sturgis? Oops, I need data. That, no, not that. It's over here. Or does it actually taste like mutton supposedly in the game, or is that just something you're joking about?
Hey, Sturgis.
I'm starting to feel like home. Now that trouble is, the more what we need is to get
Already done, fella.
I'm on it.
Thanks for doing that. We'll all sleep better at night knowing we have some defenses set up. It's been a long road. But yeah, I think this is it. Home. Feels good.
I was glad to help.
Well, I appreciate it. Of course, you know you're welcome anytime. My door's always open to you. Windows, too. Some of the walls actually come to think of it. I guess I better get back to it. Take care now.
See that mention there, that's just reminded me of something we were on about with the settlements earlier. How I think they should have made it so that you picked a settlement and that's where you build up your little community. And he talks about there's holes in the walls, and I had this idea where you'd have somebody come in, or you'd elect somebody as the mayor. You know, you'd pick somebody, you'd say, I don't know, Sturge, you're the mayor now, right? Or you'd have these various options to upgrade your settlement, like you'd put out word to other settlements to say, hey, come to our settlement,
Nice job
there's
with those
food,
defenses.
there's defences, blah
I've
blah
got
blah.
nothing else I
Or
need
you'd
right now. I think
hire
the rest of me want
mercenaries,
chat.
or I don't know, you'd invest in like a trade caravan, and you'd make money back or lose it as the case may be. But the other idea I had was that you'd invest. Obviously, you'd have your little buildings that you'd set up, like you'd have like these prefab things that are already set up, like these houses. For example, Sanctuary Hills would be say that's the settlement you'd pick. And have it so you could give the mayor some caps in for I don't know, settlement revitalisation project, and it'd go around it and like patch over holes in walls, like I don't know.
Hey,
Move.
You heard. I love that mod. Sometimes I just shove them just cause. But like this hole, it'd be boarded up next time you come by after a few days. You know, it'd be like metal plates like this. And then you'd pay again, and then everything would be, I don't know, there'd be like the hell? What the hell shit? See this here is why I got a mod that turns Brahmins into guard dogs. It would be nice, exactly, because Brahmins kept getting stuck in this room whenever the traders like Trash can Carla would come and they'd bring the Brahmin and the Brahmin would get stuck in here and end up on the roof. Or they'd get stuck in this room. So I got a mod that turns pack Brahmins or pack dogs. She's high, yeah. She's high alright. High up there. But now we've got Mama Murphy doing exactly the same thing. Maybe she's secretly a Brahmin. She's got the good stuff, yeah. She ought to share it. This settlement, you know, it's in the wasteland. Everybody's all miserable. It's surrounded on all sides by death and destruction. You know, everybody could do with pick-me-ups, and she's got them, and she's hoarding them, and this is unfair. Words need to be had. An intervention needs to be called. You need to start sharing the good stuff now, Murphy. Look at John. Look how miserable he looks. Don't you think you ought to share some of the good stuff with him? Don't you? No? Look how stuck up Marcy can be. Don't you think she could do with letting her hair down a bit? No? Clearly not. Maybe Sturgis has found a secret stash, because he's pretty, John. I mean him. Yeah, he's all, I'm so sad and miserable. It's like, okay, your son's dead. Get angry. Go kill the fuckers back. This is a wasteland. Whip out your gun. Fire off a bullet, you know? Hell, get your wife to go with you. She's angry enough. She'll help you shoot up some raiders, right? And if you don't feel like you're up to it, hire me and I'll do it. But no. He's just got to sit here and whinge.
Do you have a moment?
See, here he goes.
For helping us out in Concord.
Even when he's thanking you, he's whinging at you.
Sooner.
Don't mention it. No, really, don't mention it.
Through hell, huh?
Don't tell anyone about this.
In these past few months,
this stays between us, John, or else.
My son, he's...
I don't want it getting out that I'm a good guy. It's not good, especially if I do Nuka-Cola stuff. I have to be a bad guy for that. Yeah, his wife is definitely the boss, clearly. He needs to reassert his dominance or something, I don't know. There we go, let's all mourn together. Let's all be sad. Maybe that'll encourage Mama Murphy to give up the good stuff. It's like she sees us all being sad and stuff. She'll be like, hey, look, they're all sad. Have some happy time stuff.
We have to go on. For them.
See, now pick yourself up, fella. You see, you saw the positive in life. Let's go. Let's go kill some raiders, no? No? Okay. Well, actually, no, you stay there, guard the place. That's good. Don't let it happen again, this old raider nonsense. Now then. You know, tree, you've crossed me for the last time. Be deleted. So, did that just put all that stuff in my inventory? No, it didn't. Excellent. I need... No, that's not the one. Hey, that's my bed, you thieving cow. Your beds are over there. This is my building. Fine. Fine. He looks so sad. Yeah, he's always got this sad look to him, you know. Permanently sad. Never cheers up. I mean, sure, his son's dead. That's sad, yeah. Okay, I can understand that being saddening. Morning. You know, set up a little grave to your son, a little marker, you know. Say, here lies what remains of my son. I will avenge his wrongful death. Go find the raiders and murder them in horrible, horrible, violent ways, you know. Make him feel good. Cathartically murder everyone, you know. Take out your inner rage. It'll do you a power of good fella. Well, that's what I was doing. Put it down, forgot to use it. There you go. 8 in the morning. And it's pissing it down. I woke up to a leak in the roof. I don't know how the water gets in. It's a mystery to me. That's another thing I'd have it so that you'd upgrade your settlement. The roofs would get fixed, god damn it. Like you'd just patch it over at first and then like it'd just put like plank of wood here, there and everywhere. And you'd upgrade it again, it'd be steel sheets, and so on and so forth. But I don't work at Bethesda, and they're not sure she ain't gonna hire me anytime soon, probably. Where did I quest. So by the way,
Need something?
yeah,
Get out of my sight.
that is for sending me all the way over there for a settlement, dude. Codsworth, what the hell are you doing over here, dude? He's stuck on something.
Mr. Xavier, welcome back, sir. I do hope your stance in common.
You could say that. I made a few new friends.
Can't have enough of those these days. I realize that I'm no Mr. Gutsy, but if needed, I'd be honored to accompany you throughout the Commonwealth. Just say the word.
Would you like to?
As you wish, sir.
Yes,
Go on.
of course.
Lead the way, sir. Not to worry there, pup. Your master is in good hands.
Yeah, indeed. Go hang out at Sanctuary Hills, Doge. Go on, boy. Be gone. Oh, it cleared up. Nice. All I had to do was hire Codsworth and he made the sun come out. I'm Murphy. You gonna share them? Share the good stuff, no? No? I love that lad. That will never, ever get old. Ever. I could do that all day. John, just a guy. I've learnt a new trick, dude.
Get out of my sight.
Interrupts as well, which is it's a win-win, you know. But but anyway, dude, I'm gonna have to call it there because it is early in the morning. I have a hospital appointment today, actually, funnily. So like I say, I'll call it there. Thanks for hanging out. It's been quite fun yapping about games. You know, I don't get to talk about games as often as one would like. This is the joys of streaming, I believe. I believe this is what they all say. I shall try and take it easy. Yes. Yes. Thank you for hanging out. It's much appreciated. I mean, I don't know if there's anybody else still here, because I can't see with my current self, unfortunately. But if there is, I wouldn't mind a follow. I would very much appreciate it. And I also have a YouTube account where I upload my VODs of my streams. Once I've finished streaming, I upload them within the day usually. But yeah, thanks for all hanging out, and I will see you all next time.